2K26 released on August 29th. To some of us who are more financially stable enough or stupid enough to get this game early. For the rest of you brokies or intellectuals, it was released on September 5th. To the very select few, it was August 28th, where creators were given the privilege of having the one up on everyone else. Gabe, was part of the August 29th crowd where we were just sick enough to get the game early, but not sick enough to make a career out of it. Or maybe it was that we were addicts that weren't famous. And just like any academic, like opioids, 2K can be akin to a sickness for some. A little game turned into hours of entertainment randomly. I started by making a build which was a weird mixture of my own ideas and the hours of YouTube videos I watched because I did not want to make a trash build and keep funding my 2K addiction. I was 6'2", and with my desire to make a sim basketball version of Stephen Curry and friends who barely watch the real product, I attempt to play, and I was determined not to repeat the mistakes of 2K's past. The kind of mistakes like letting your high as a kite best buddy run point guard, or your easily angered friends control the fate of the team. I enjoy playing rec because of my friends. I hate it for the same reason. To make things worse, NBA 2K25 introduced this bright idea of timing your shot perfectly and somehow bricking the shot entirely. The times I heard, "Come on, 2K," I could make a video about alone. A bad one, but which I'm not afraid of making. As you can see by my many mistakes I take pride on in my channel. But I hopped on 3 seasons of it and I played the game for hours on end, and every time I lost I blamed myself for not having the courage of my convictions on calling my teammates absolutely trash and somehow not smashing my controller. But I was a coward and I never liked to waste money, so here I am writing and dictating a section in my video for some way of coping with the fact that NBA 2K25 existed, and I have to listen to another cycle of people pretending that it didn't. 2K26 is only great when compared with the pure RNG sim trash that was NBA 2K25. I hear that a lot. A game so bad I logged in and 2K asked me to once again agree to the policy agreement to avoid any legal troubles because parents felt so scammed by VC they actually sued 2K. This isn't a surprise. I hear more news about money-hungry, grubbing gaming companies than actual games these days. A pity, really. I watch so many 2K videos for the inspiration on builds. I think I can make a meta build in about 10 minutes, but it really comes down to the player. And if you're cheating or not, that's only a thought of in my head because I hear a lot of my teammates spew this rhetoric over and over again. Yes, there are cheaters, and I guarantee you 99% of them are on Xbox because Xbox are full of cheaters. This is what I have to hear as a PlayStation player, and it's pure lunacy. Even though there are record and record about 500, like breaking even, like we win one game, we lose one game. It serves as a reminder that most of us lives our lives going hard just to break even at the end of the day. That subconscious thought somehow induces rage. Funny. I researched and followed up one of my comments on my more informational videos about this theory that 2K is having him and him only lose on purpose to keep playing. As I read the comment, my only thought was, yep, this is common. So much so I went to my friend who actually owns a Zen and just, he's just too lazy to actually register the darn thing and start using the script for it, and you gotta pay money for it, like in a subscription, because once you're in the nets of these people, you're gonna be in there for a while. And he said it could be completely possible. I made the next logical statement to see if 2K ever addressed this directly, and they haven't because not enough people care, obviously. But I asked why, because people only care about distractions like evil corporations for like a day. Or they make it their life's work to take them down. Very rarely a pressing internet or pressing interest leads to consistent passion, more like stalker's levels of obsession. The VC prices for imaginary players on an imaginary basketball court is absolutely ridiculous. Almost up there with my team's fictitious cards that only drop on a off chance. 2K feels like a money laundering scheme that was so ridiculous to pop up on the FBR radar uh, and somehow turned into a profitable business. One I used on many occasions. FIFA Ultimate Team took my allowance as a kid. Now my team wants to take my checks as an adult. The cycle is uncanny, and now parental guidance required to play 2K. I feel should be a thing. Maybe an IQ test as well. I feel like people drop off their dumb relatives on 2K like a daycare and pick them up after they ruined the whole experience. Uh, the level of accountability is unheard of and will undoubtedly bankrupt NBA 2K because the majority of the player base would be gone if you took away the majority as these people, me included. Not like I'm some super genius out there, just have some basic common sense because it was beaten into me. The subculture of cliff farming my fellow mentally ill brothers has gone too far. So they can need a I think they need a protected version of NBA 2K made of bubble wrap where you can rim run and dunk on five people and enjoy their John Moran levels of delusions away from the rest of the populace. How many games I suffered through people sucking and blaming 2K or their respective internet provider cannot be good for my mental health. I see why a lot of people around my age have turned into vices when they play 2K. You know, drinking, alcohol, all that good stuff. Can't be mad if you're never in the room. When AI can play better than the average Joe, when AI can play better than the average Joe and hold a conversation, that'll be the end of the rec center. I don't play anything else but the rec, so my mental state can't be good. Randoms, friend statements, randoms, friends, teammates, all names of a potential opulence ready to sell me at any point. And now I break even. So, like any good gambler, those highs are through the roof. Deep bomber takes, slashing threes, dunking on three people, blocking stuff into the 10th row. I can't understate how fun and addictive this hobby is when there is more good in the game than bad. It feels absolutely amazing when you actually get the ball on offense and get to play defense and not watch some guy you don't know jack up another three. I made so many builds in 2 months of the game. I played too many games and I'm just starter three. This game is fire from top to bottom. I criticize it in my mind and complain because I play it so much. I wouldn't show up if it wasn't any type of good. I don't hate it. I appreciate how much of a upgrade this is, but I can't help but feel that nagging feeling every time I boot up the game that this will be the patch. It may be the patch that ruins the game, and that reputation is not given, it's earned at this point with 2K because my main goal is to have fun and win some games, and you need people to do that. So if they keep giving us NBA 2K26 instead of 2K25, we might have an awesome foundation to build off of. I'll just make sure to have $500 ready to enjoy the basketball game NJ would have been proud of. A gambling sim. When you lose, you can just go golf or play baseball. Yeah, that was a Jordan jab. Yeah.